Well, the disaster that was the Saints Row remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, the studio behind it has now been shut down entirely. Glory. Glory, glory be. Deservedly so. It was an unmitigated disaster for a franchise which was relatively well liked, quite frankly. You know, it was that sort of riff on GTA. I remember back in the day, it was, I don't know, like a hard, I don't want to say a harder core. It was almost like a parody of GTA, but also a bit hardcore as well. It was just a good time. And they completely fucked that, basically. So, let's dive into this today. Hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. But yeah, Embracer Group, who are just a huge company now. Or group, whatever you want to call them. They own so much stuff. In fact, they're the guys that own Lord of the Rings now. So, Embracer Group shuts down Volition games after the disastrous Saints Row reboot. You know what? That saying of get woke, go broke does actually apply here. Volition Games announced that they are being shuttered by Embracer Group following the company's disastrous Saints Row reboot. So Embracer Group previously announced significant restructuring would occur across its portfolio back in June. And obviously they're just trimming the fat, and this is the fat. The company's CEO, Lars Wingfors, noted at the time the restructuring would include, but not be limited to, closing or divestments of some studios and the termination or pausing of some ongoing game development projects. He continued, it will also include decreased spending on non-development costs such as overhead and other operating expenses. We will reduce third-party publishing and put greater focus on internal IP and increase external funding of large budget games. So, in a post to LinkedIn, Volition announced, of LinkedIn of all those things, they were one of the studios to be permanently terminated. It reads, the Volition team has proudly created world-class entertainment for fans around the globe for 30 years. We've been driven by a passion for our community and always worked to deliver joy, surprise and delight. This past June, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain... It's funny, isn't it? We're announcing it to strengthen Embracer, so everything that's weak gets fired and thrown into the fire. We're one of them. And maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. As part of the program, they evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. I bet that was not a difficult decision. To help our team, we are working to provide job assistance and help smooth the transition of our Volition family members. We thank our customers and fans around the world for all the love and support over the years. You'll always be in our hearts. You have balls to that. So the closure comes after the company's most recent release, Saints Row, was widely panned by players. The game fully embraced woke transgender ideology by removing male and female gender options. Instead, they replaced it with multiple sliders in characters creation, allowing players to manipulate the size of their character's groin and chest. Just utterly redundant things to include in a game. You're catering to the tiniest minority. Not only did they embrace that form of ideology in the character creator, but Volition development director Jim Boone also implied the game was being made for modern sensibilities. We love that word around here, don't we? So in August, he says, we love the old Saints Row games, but we also recognise those are games of a time. What? A time when people had fun? Take me back there, thank you. It was much better, people were much happier, less confused, better attention spans, a clear direction of where they were going in life, albeit not massively clear, but a little bit better than today at the very least. God, games of a time. Yeah, when it was fun. They made sense within that era, and we were able to do things that felt good back then. But that tone is not something that we feel like we want to do today. We had a different kind of story that we wanted to tell. Yeah, fucking garbage one. Absolute garbage, and it bombed, and you only have yourselves to blame. So in the development staff also derided potential players for disliking a number of changes the game was making. In one instance, Twitter user Gavinator6429 said, I know you won't listen, but if you want fans to stop complaining and giving y'all shit, maybe, just maybe, replace these clowns and give us the real Saints. Doesn't even have to be the old crew, just real gangsters. That would honestly clear up a lot of the hate you guys are getting. Pretty fair point, to be honest. If you have a game which is founded on a specific principle with specific core elements and then you immediately change that, people are going to go, what are you doing? It's like it's really basic. And Saints Row responded saying, haters going to hate. Yeah, haters going to hate. And that equates, ooh, see that? A little bit of rhyme. To no money for you. If anything, I'm not a hater. I've been defending you guys since people called you a GTA clone, which wasn't true at all. No, it was like a parody. Now I feel like I wasted my time defending you guys. As the boss once said, the Saints used to mean something. Only motherfucker that seemed to remember that is me and Gat. And then Saints Row would respond to that as well. We're not backing down on this game. We get it, it's new, and it's a shock reaction to a reboot like no other. The GIF was supposed to convey that. Well, you done fudged up, didn't you, I guess? Upon release, the game was relentlessly mocked and described as the worst game of 2022. New Saints Row is an abomination and will go down as the worst game of 2022, 3 out of 10. NPCs barely react to it, anything the player does, worse AI than Cyberpunk, no cheat codes, lazy VA performances, nothing to do with within the world unless it's marked on the map. 100 plus bugs join the Saints Row SEA and red flags. This dated, janky, soulless mess are $60 for cancelled CW show writing, cheap voiceover, royalty-free music, and boneheaded bullet sponge AI. We are not backing down on this husk. LOL. Yeah, absolutely fucking themselves. So the game sales would crater in the UK anyway. Just a week after the release, the games industry report on Saints Row saw an 80% drop. Falls to number 6, just, yeah, dead. The head of Embracer, Winch4, would recognise the game was not being received well by fans, commented on the game during the company's annual general meeting in 2022. Obviously, personally, I had hoped for a greater reception of the game. It's been a very polarised view. There's a lot of things that could be said in details around it. But on one hand, I'm happy to see a lot of gamers and fans happy. At the same time, I'm a bit sad to see also fans not happy, so it's difficult. Yeah, but he's a money man, and that's why you got canned. Winch4 did admit that the game would probably have a return on investment, but not the money they were hoping for. On the financial side, I know, or I'm confident we will make money on the investment. Will it have as great a return on investment that we have seen in many other games? Not very likely, but we will make money, and that's a very good starting point at least. Yeah, it is, but yeah, maybe, you know, sort yourself out. You know, don't do utter garbage. So there you have it. Close down. I mean, the saying, you know, get woke, go broke does actually apply here. And it's funny as well, like these people, you know, they always do the same thing. It wasn't made for you. A hater's gonna hate. Just play something else then. Yeah, and then everyone just will. Everyone will. They will just disappear, and they did. And then you've shut down. And we are all worse off for it as well. That's the sad thing about this. All you had to do was make a game that people enjoyed, like the previous games. You would have kept your jobs. We would have got a game that we enjoyed. Everyone's happy. Now, no one's happy. You made a game that's garbage. People got annoyed. Didn't buy your shitty game. And you've lost your jobs. Lose-lose. Lose-lose.